What's up, everyone? It is Bill. We're going a little out of order tonight because I have these tickets to give away for Amy Grant, but the concert is tomorrow. So I'm going to get this out of the way right off the top of the show so that the winner has some time to make arrangements so they can actually go to the show. So it's tomorrow at the Carnegie of Homestead Music Hall. 7 p.m. is doors, 8 p.m. show. If you're still looking for tickets for that show, they're going to cost you between $59.75 and $89.75 each. And it is an all the ages show. And with 7 people sign up, you can see their names spinning above my head. We had Tina Leydig, Marissa Watson, Keith Leydig, Nikki Praza, Michelle Gapsky, Larry Demas, and Andrew Carr. I have them all on there twice. I'm going to hit shuffle. And then I'm going to go ahead and spin, and we will find out who won those tickets immediately. And then I'm going to take myself off the screen for a moment and send the email, and then I'm going to come back and start the show. And that winner is Tina Leydig. We will be right back. Okay, you're tuned into the Pennsylvania Rock Show, featuring the best unsigned rock and music that Pennsylvania has to offer. This is going to be episode number 722. We're coming at you from musicfrom412.com, buildthescene.com, xrpradio.co.uk in the Highlands of Scotland, Roodoo Radio on the beaches of San Diego, California, and also in Texas. megarockradio.net and 107.1 KFGD coming at you from the outskirts of St. Louis, Missouri. And I know I'm forgetting someone. When I remember, I'll mention them later. At the top of the show, we heard a brand new track to us from Dicro, and that was One Lane Bridge. And we also heard Royal Honey, Dirty Romance. And we'll get into where the track lineup for tonight comes from. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring tonight's guest on. That is Mr. Steve Hawk.
How you doing, Bill?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's been a while, man.
It has. The first chance encounter at Sheets where I didn't say hello.
Yeah, right. But we got caught up on that. That was what? That was during the pandemic, I think, right?
Yeah, it was.
You know, I do that all the time. Even like people that I used to know in high school and such, you see them on Facebook every day, but you don't really know them anymore. Even though you see their pictures, their family, you walk up to them and you're like, is this who I think it is? Because I haven't seen them in a while, and I only know them from their Facebook pictures, which most of the time are fake anyway, you know? So,
right.
But no, I saw you that day, and I left, and I was like, that was Bill. That was definitely Bill, but why is he in my sheets? Why is he in my sheets?
Yeah. Well, I don't work down that way anymore. So if you see me in there, that's a very good question.
Well, I'm not there anymore either. I'm out of New Stanton now. I used to be at UPS, and I'm no longer there. I moved to. I got a new job, so I've been there since October.
If you're working at FedEx, hold my microphone for me until I get home on Wednesday.
No FedEx. I got out of that business, man. Yeah, it's always worth. But if you need a job someday, I'm at the PA Career Link now. I'm got a nice cushy desk job to rest my shoulders, you know.
I changed schools. I'm now teaching 12 minutes from my house instead of an hour.
That's fantastic.
And that's one of the minor benefits. It's been great. But anyway.
Yeah, it just goes to show that in the music business, you still have to have a day job most of the time.
Yes. I do want to point out behind me is a photo I took That is Wally Wright, formerly of Scale. Speaking of the pandemic, he was um, a loss to the pandemic.
Oh no.
And I was going through, I'm like, what am I going to put on my background today? And I saw the picture of Wally, and I'm like, we're going to put Wally there.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with Scale, we will not be playing Scale tonight, but you should check them out. You can go to scaleRocks.com. Yeah, I think it's .com. That's terrible. I made it. It's .com.
Brain fart.
Yes. So I messaged you not that long ago, like days ago, to see if you wanted to come on. And then I saw right after that you just finished tracking a brand new album. So
yeah, just got it started. I mean, it's been something that's been on my brain, obviously, for a very long time. And I'm a little behind. I have so many songs that I've written in the last 20 years, and I just haven't. I've been too busy gigging, and so I came across a windfall of money, and I decided just to go ahead and do it. And the hardest part was picking out what songs I wanted to do, considering I had so many, and I've been playing them out for the better part of the last 5 years to many breweries and wineries and such in the area, that it was one of those things where it was like, am I going to put songs on this album that, people already know, or do I throw new songs on, and, or my lesser played songs, played live songs, and I did a mix, and, I have a newer that I wrote right before or during the pandemic, called "Where My Heart Has Roamed," and in that I'm doing what I did with the last album. The last album was called "The Demons in My Heart's Home," and it was based off of a line, "I alone fight the demons in my heart's home for all the hell I've raised," from my Some Sort of Sacrifice song. And so what I decided to do is a line from "Where My Heart Has Roamed" for. I'm still toying with this idea. It's probably what I'm going to go with. "How in nine hells did all those years go by so fast" was the line from "Where My Heart Has Roamed." So I'm thinking about calling the album Nine Hells. And so I definitely recorded 9 songs. There is a song that nobody has heard me play live. I've had it in my back pocket that I was going to do this with the full band. It was actually one of the last songs we were working on when we all broke up, when Forgotten Nobody broke up back in 2008. And so I've been holding on to this, and I toyed with it. I was like, I really wanted to put it out full band. I decided, and I thought about what I was going to do for this for so long, and I decided just to keep it pure again. It's just going to be me and a guitar. I might add some vocals, like backup vocals. I might add some extra guitar to it, but it's not going to be too complicated because I've always been a lyric-driven artist, and my live show is where I kill it. I do love having music out there for people to listen to anytime, but I'm always about the live show. And I've never wanted to do a full band if I'm not going to be live with a full band, because I know how that is. And a lot of, don't get me wrong, a lot of artists do the right thing. And I still think it is the right thing to put a full band album out there because it is a lot more interesting. I get it. But at the same time, I don't want to sell myself short. I've always been good with just the acoustic guitar and vocals. And, I might add a little more to this one, but that's where we're at now. I tracked 9 songs, got them down with the vocals and the guitar. I recorded it at Daniel Blake Production. He's the Schoolhouse in Armburst. That's where I did it the first time as well. So I decided to go back to him. We had a really cool reunion. Like, we haven't really talked to one another since I left the studio back in 2012 or whatever. And so it was real nice to get back with him again. We had a really cool day, just kind of hanging out, tracking albums, having some laughs, some good talks. And it was a great day. It was a lot of fun.
So in a few minutes, we're going to play 2 of your tracks that I have. But since you were recently in the studio, like within days, I usually ask this question about what's the best pizza you've had and try to get you to equate it to a studio moment. Was there any pizza?
No, we didn't eat it all. We did not eat it all this time. I'll tell you, I was kind of I went to the Bad Religion Social Distortion concert Friday night and stayed up till like 3 a.m. with my brothers, drinking beer and just reminiscing the songs that we grew up with from them, and just just had a great time with my brothers. And I stayed up entirely way too late. Daniel wanted me at the studio by noon the next day, and originally wanted me there by 10, and I was like, I don't think that's going to work. And so I still ended up getting there like 12:30, which was a lot later than what I wanted. No pizza, because I was in a rush. I just wanted to get it down. I don't eat and sing. If I'm going to perform, I don't eat, and I don't drink alcohol, because I had a really bad experience about 10 years ago at a place in Pittsburgh where few fraternity brothers of mine came out with their wives, and they all started doing shots of absinthe. And in between my set, I decided to go join them. I was going to have one, and their wives didn't want theirs. So ka-choom, ka-choom, ka-choom. Next thing I know, the band we were doing like alternate sets, and the band that was after me was done, and I was going to go back up there. I started halfway through. I remember the song it was. It was I Want More. And I got to about the second verse, and I couldn't remember the verse. And then I kind of forgot that I was a singer-songwriter, and I kind of forgot that I knew how to play guitar. And I kind of forgot every single song that I'd ever written in my entire life after that. And I said to the crowd, I said, you know what? We got this other band up here. Why don't you enjoy them for a while? I'm going to go have a seat. And that was probably like my lowest moment as a singer-songwriter. Used to do Southern blues with my drummer and bassist before we went on stage, but I can't drink anymore like I did. And when I'm by myself and I'm playing 3-hour sets, there's a lot rattling around up there, and I just can't do that. So no, I don't eat, because it kind of gums up my throat and I can't breathe properly when I got food in my stomach. And I don't drink alcohol. So no pizza. Long-winded answer. No pizza.
So I'm going to make a statement, and then we're going to take our first break. I think you need to find new seating arrangements for the Penguins playoff games.
I think I need to find new seating arrangements for their regular season. they can't even make it to the playoffs for me to even sit with my dad. I feel bad because my dad's just getting older and older. And I actually, whenever the playoffs started, and I still watch all the playoffs because I'm a huge hockey fan. I watch all the teams in the playoffs. Best playoff system in for the best sport. But
I've been watching NCAA men's lacrosse.
Oh, nice. That's a lot like hockey, honestly. It really is.
I've played both.
Both created by I think Canadian Native Americans. So
yes. So the lacrosse was created by the Seven Nations. So North American,
okay.
Right around the Canadian border, the Iroquois and all of those tribes.
Nice. Yeah.
And it was a duel to the death. Whoever won got to keep the land.
The original 7 instead of the original 6. They were the original 7.
Yes. But all right, so let's take our first break. And during that time, we're going to listen to 2 tracks by Steve Hawk. We're going to start out with Heart Sick in the Basement, and then we're going to follow up with Midnight Misery. And we'll be right back on Pennsylvania Rock Show, episode number 722. Okay, we are back. If you're on the video side, you saw the little ad pop up for the September 7th show. September 7th, that right? Or is that June 1st? June 1st.
Yeah, the one I'm on is June 1st.
Yes, June 1st at the Penn Brewery. It is a Rock for Life show. And you'll probably notice that the lineup tonight on the songs I'm playing kind of match that show. Dicro, who we opened the show up with, however, they're playing the September 7th show, but I didn't have their music last week when I kind of followed along, so they got played this week. So let's see. It's your first Rock for Life show.
Yeah.
And it's the 25th anniversary for them.
I've always wanted to play it. my parents were asking, what do the proceeds go to? Because I can't explain it to people because I'm an idiot and I didn't do the research. As much as I've wanted to play it and it's been around for a long time, it's one of those things that,
So
yeah,
so they pick usually they pick a child that's battling a deadly disease, and I haven't seen a name for this year's series yet. Um, one time they picked a another charitable organization, but usually it's a child from the local area who's fighting a battle, and then the money goes to their families so that they can pay. There's so many things when you're in that situation. You're traveling back and forth from hotel to hospital. You have hotel fees, you have food, you have gas, like things that nobody really thinks about. You
I
know,
I know. My niece had leukemia. So she was diagnosed when she was 4. She's 14 going on 15 now. She's only been cancer free for maybe 2 or 3 years now, but she had so many complications. People don't know. And fortunately, Children's Hospital has a lot of grants that help families out. My brother and sister-in-law didn't really have to pay a dime for her visit for close to 10 years there. So, but it's because of things like this. And that's why, I knew it was obviously it was a benefit for something. I know this. I just didn't know exactly what. But I always play benefits because people saved my niece by doing good deeds like this, by giving their time, their volunteering, their money. And, we've made a lot. There's been a lot of headway as far as technology and medicine goes compared to even like 10, 15, 20 years ago. But the thing is, it's like people don't know how many hours and days and holidays and birthdays the families in a hospital room. We had her sister's parties in a hospital.
mhm.
Most of everything we celebrated for that 10 years was in the hospital. And everything that we did revolved around trying to save that little girl's life. So, I mean, I'm definitely down for doing these benefits. And I'm so excited to do it this year. I'm glad I got asked finally. I've been wanting to do it for a long time.
I am growing up. I met my best friend into seventh grade, and he had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and I ended up spending a lot of time sleeping on children's hospital's floor while he was there, and just nothing but great things to say about that hospital.
Yeah. And I mean, that's cool on you, man. Because as a kid, most kids are just gonna run and play, and they might not be there to tag along while this kid's going through all these hardships.
Yeah, it was our junior and senior year was pretty bad, and he ended up passing away shortly after I got married. So he was my best man.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
but um,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
sorry to hear
yeah,
that, but that's
yeah.
I've,
I
I've
mean,
lost
well,
them too, man.
at the time, Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, he had a average lifespan of 16, and he made it to 24.
Oh,
So
cool.
they helped him out a lot.
That's great. That's great. He got to live that long.
Um, but it's things like that, and like Rock for Life had a benefactor one year who was a student of mine. Um, so it's close to my heart, and it's kind of an answer for somebody who asked me a question the other day. If he's watching, he'll know what I'm telling him. Um, but with that said, what are some other shows you have coming up?
I had to write them down because I really booked myself solid. I'm still booking, but my weekends are starting to get all
If
filled
it
up.
makes you feel any better, I have all the tracks written down too.
Yeah, there you go. That's kind of how whenever I went in to do my album on Saturday, I had about like 18 songs, and I whittled it down to 9, and I figure, well, I'll just have to do another album. But anyway, to answer your question, this Saturday, the 18th, I will be at Fort Allen Volunteer Fire Club. It's Fling at the Fort. They're having a party in their backyard with like cornhole stuff like that. DJ Tuna, I worked with him at UPS back in the day. He's going to be spinning records the first part, and then I'm going to be playing like 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, doing my original stuff. I went down there and played a couple weeks ago, and they really liked it, so they're having me back for that party. Sunday, the next day, this Sunday, I'll be playing at Helltown Mount Pleasant. It'll be my first time back there this year. I usually play about 3 or 4 shows a year. There's a possible thing going on. I'm involved with WRGG 93.7. It's an online radio station. You're probably familiar with them.
I was trying to remember the name of that because I listened to you perform live on there one night, and it was like MTV Storytellers. It was great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I was actually one of the first artists to go through them. But anyway, they did a festival last year, and I was invited a few months back. I haven't heard much about it, so I think I'm still going to this, but it's in Morel. It's out east, like near Philadelphia. I'll be playing for WRGG Hugs Radio. Then obviously June 1st, Rock for Life, Penn Brewing. I'm taking part of that. June 7th, I'll be at Sobel's Obscure Brewery in Jeanette. Laurel Highlands Meadery the next day. That's in South Greensburg. Taddy Bogle Cider Works on June 22nd up in Acme, PA. That's a beautiful place. I'm doing another podcast on Friday the 28th for Scarfire Radio podcast. And then to wrap up June, what's that?
With Megan?
Yes. Megan Pennington. Yep. I've played a couple shows with her. Never got a real good chance to sit down one-on-one with her because she and I are both the same. I can tell she's a lot like me. She's just like buzzing around whenever she's out and about and talking to as many people as she can. We just never got to cross paths. So it'll be cool talking to her. And then I'm coming back to my hometown, just down the street from where I'm at right now at Wishes Bar and Grill on June 29th. So that's my May and June. But I got a lot of shows up until November, December. So I'm starting to, my later half of the year isn't as booked up as solid as I am through summer and early fall. But you can mainly catch me every weekend doing this. Go to my Facebook page at Steve Hawk Music. And I'm always promoting my up and coming shows.
Anyone watching the video, if you just saw my eyes glancing, my daughter is singing and I was checking to see if she realized that I was still live. She just walked into the room.
That's funny.
Shh, live. Mm-hmm. But anyway. See, now I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. I don't have that going on. I don't have kids or pets, so if a kid walks in my room, then we're gonna really have some problems.
She sang today at May crowning at school, and I videoed it, and I've been listening to it ever since I got home.
No, that's awesome. She's probably happy you did that.
She has. You've heard of Black Ridge, right?
Yes.
So she is going up on stage with them twice and sang backups as a
nice.
Well, as a 12-year-old last year.
That's awesome.
So got to get her sister up there. They both are very, very good, but her sister, she's like, yeah, I'll do it. And then she looked at the crowd. She's like, I'm not doing it. Both of them were at Rock for Life shows, so maybe.
Nice.
Well, not at the Penn Brewery. I'm not taking my 13.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true, huh?
But
well, this will be. Are you going to be there? Right.
I'm planning on it.
This will be the first time you hear me live, right?
Correct.
Awesome.
I mean, I hung out with you for a little bit at Didn't I run into you at in Irwin?
Was it like at Brandy's or something? Brandy's on Main?
Yeah.
Possibly.
We just chatted for a couple minutes. I want to say it was the Foo Bar show.
Okay.
Where they were doing the celebration of their
of Jake.
animated. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to say I played that show. I can't remember. I did 1 or 2 benefits with them. I came in
a little later into the night because I was taking photos in town over. And I was
Okay.
like, I'm right here. I gotta go.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I definitely didn't see you play.
No, that's all right. June 1st, buddy.
Yep. Let's take another short break.
I'm gonna go get some water anyway.
Okay. So what you're gonna hear next, we have two more tracks for you. We're gonna hear The Dead End Streets, Snowball Fight on the 4th of July, and Killing Me Coming Undone. And we'll be right back with Steve Hawk. Sorry, Steve.
I was trying to read my face when I do my live streams. I have to like squint and like I definitely need glasses.
So that photo in the background is the band jam from 97.7 The Rock Station and Shady Lady Studio. It's Cooper's Lake Campground. 22nd to the 25th, they start out with the singer-songwriter night, which is free. And then Friday and Saturday, they have bands like most of the day. And then Sunday, it's time to head home. Thebandjam.com if you want to check that out. That's in Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice.
So we have a few more minutes because we did kind of go over.
I tend to do that.
We would.
I tend to do that.
So let me ask you kind of a couple of my Pennsylvania Rock Show type questions because I really haven't hit you with any of those on this episode.
And these are always the hardest ones for me to answer.
Well, this one I probably have asked you before. So it's who's your Dave Grohl? Who would you like to go up on stage and play one of their originals? And if I have asked it before, you have to give me a different answer.
I don't remember if you have, but I would answer this anyway, even if you told me. I would answer it the same way, even if you told me not to answer it the same way. Because my ultimate player. If I said that in the last one, this show Friday night was probably my ultimate. Because well, you know what? I'd like to go up with Tim Armstrong of Rancid too. He'd be a good one. Greg Gaffin of Bad Religion. He's more of a lyricist though, but that would be fun. Those are my holy trinity of punk rock favorites. I've actually played with Michael Graves of the Misfits. I headlined a show last fall. He came into town at Brandy's, and we did a show together in September. And then I headlined that one, and then we played at the Hard Rock in October, and he headlined that one. So that was fun. I kind of formed a little relationship with that guy. It's kind of neat. I don't care what the politics are. I don't care what people think of him. He's a really nice guy, and I'm not a political person myself, one way or the other. You know, I vote and everything because it's a smart thing to do, but you're never going to find out how I vote. I'm not going to tell you from the stage how I'm going to vote. So it's one of those things where, you know, that was cool. I actually had that experience to like kind of share the stage with somebody that was super famous in the scene at one time. But yeah, Mike Ness, number one. I'd have to say Greg Gaffin of Bad Religion and Tim Armstrong, Rancid.
So I saw a photo of you from that show with probably the tallest mohawk that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's Zach Anderson, man. He's at all the local shows. He came out. I met him at Brandy's for the first time. I think he's from Irwin. He came out and we just happened to be outside having a cigarette together. And I was like, dude, I got to get a selfie with you. And this was like sometime 2 years ago, maybe. It might have been the FUBAR benefit. I'm not sure. But every time I see him out at a show, he's like, Steve Hawk, what's up? I'm like, Zach, how you doing? And we do this ridiculous selfie together every time. And I do see him at almost every local show. So that's a lot of fun. I'm not surprised if he wouldn't be out at the Rock for Life, but he jumps around. He's a big Biscuits fan right now. So he was at their show a week or so ago when they played with Kyle Smith. So yeah, Yeah, Zach, he's a cool dude, and that's one of the most beautiful mohawks you're ever going to see in your entire life.
I was scrolling and I had to stop. I was like, holy. And see, it stuck with me.
What's funny about that picture is we've taken so many pictures together. Someone came on in the comments and said, "Holy crap, you guys look like brothers." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I do look like brothers." So then I went back, found my way through the crowd to my real brothers. I was like, "You'll never guess what just happened. I found one of our brothers." And I showed them the picture, and they just started laughing. They're like, "Holy crap, dude. You two look alike."
I was at Moondogs recently.
I love that bar.
Ronnie Moondog Esser came out. I was with Rocky from Music from the 412, and he thought I was Rocky's brother. And I was like, what? There's no way. And I come home and I'm like, Kelly, my wife, Kelly, I'm like, you're not going to believe this. Moondog thought Rocky and I were brothers. And she goes, I totally see it. I'm like, what?
Well, that's the funny thing. Like my real brother and my brother Eric, he's about 6 solid years older than me. And growing up, his friends always mistook me for him. They say, "Hey, Eric, how's it going?" And there were times where I'd play it off because I didn't want to embarrass them. And I'd just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm down in DC or whatever." And, I'd lie to him through my teeth. But there are other times I'm like, I am Steve. I am 6 years younger than you. I don't know how you even confuse us. He always had dark hair. I always had blonde hair. It was just, now that my hair is a little darker, I get it now. But growing up, I was always mistaken for my brother Eric. So,
okay, so I did this last week. I need to get more cameras for this to make sense. But have you ever watched Hot Ones?
Hot Ones?
Yes.
No, I don't think I'm familiar with it.
I'm going to introduce you to it. It is a video podcast where the host brings on celebrities like wrestlers and movie stars, and they eat 10 different hot
wings. That's the Hot Wing show.
Yes.
I have seen that. Yes.
So at the end, he goes, okay, you've made it through the gauntlet and tell us what you have going on. You have that camera. I only have one camera. But we are at the end. This is your last chance to get any information out that you would like. So go.
All right. Obviously, facebook.com/SteveHawkMusic2. I lost my original music page, so had to tag a 2 on the end. Thank you for that, down at the bottom of the screen. I'm still fiddling with the idea of getting a professional web page together, but Facebook's been doing good for me. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora. I only have the song that you heard earlier, Midnight Misery. That's on Pandora. Look for my album soon. I've got some great songs on there. It's going to be a very fast-paced album. It's a very punk album. I picked a lot of my faster songs, but I do have an endearing song. We were talking about your friend who passed away. I have a friend who died of cancer back whenever I was trying to decide if I wanted to do this music thing again. Back in 2010, wrote a song about that. I play it at my live shows. It's called The Curse of the Man Who Knows. It's a very endearing song, very slow, kind of sad. Sorry about that, people, but I had to get it out and tell you how I got going again. So that's on there. Look for that album soon. Tentatively called The Nine Hells, or some play on that. But other than that, you can find me out and about on the Laurel Highlands Pour Tour, Southwestern PA breweries, wineries. Look on my Facebook page. I advertise. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we have a fan-made fan page called Rock Out with Your Hawk Out. So go join that. I share all of my intimate early stuff with them before I post it on my music page, because they're my true fans and they deserve to know before anybody else. So plenty of places to find me.
You have a new sticker too, don't you?
Oh yeah, actually, right here. It's going to be backwards, I think, but right there, we got the new guy out. It's kind of like the logo that you're advertising, but just got those. That's going to be
trade those. We're going to trade some stickers on the first.
I'm gonna have a bunch of these. I was hoping to get T-shirts with this new logo on it. This is going to be my new run. My old logo did well, and I'm going to still use the old logo for T-shirts. That's a classic T-shirt, and it always went well. But I'm going to switch over for a little bit to this red one. I did a black and gold classic Steve Hawk logo, the one that was the original logo from that's on the album, The Demons of My Heart's Home. I still have some of those I'll have some of those at the show, but I'm running out on sizes. I just mainly have, I think, like, you know, your XL, a couple mediums. I only have a few of those shirts left because those went up really fast. Because you're a Pittsburgh musician, you got to do at least one black and gold sticker or shirt or something. You know what I mean?
I do.
So, but yeah, look for the new logo coming soon. I'm hoping to make some pins. I've got. I didn't. This was on accident. I swear to God. But I have logo
nice.
glasses. Yeah. So you can pick those up at the show. I just got a new bunch of those made up. I don't think I'm going to have new T-shirts by the time Rock for Life comes around. But Bill, let me know off camera what size you are. I'll get you one whenever we get done here, and whenever I get them printed. So they'll be a lot like the sticker, the red and black circle logo.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
It's always a pleasure, Bill. Always a good time.
And for those of you that are tuned in and are not familiar with how things have been working lately, give me about 20 minutes and then go to musicfrom412.com/radio, buildscene.com/radio, or xrpradio.co.uk and tune in, and you will get to hear this whole show in its entirety, including the music that I talked about. And we have one more track tonight. That is Brian Genovese, My Dear. Brian is in the band One Eye Daddies. I don't have any of their tracks right now, so we're going to play Brian instead. That said, we are on our way out. Make sure you join us each and every week. I made a banner that I forgot to cue. I'm going to cue it right now. Give me one moment. That shows what. Come on. That shows what shows we have coming up. And
hopefully, it's not a nude.
It is not.
It's not a nude of you, Bill. That would
be bad.
And that was the last show.
Yeah. I don't know. Yep, this one isn't completely updated, but it'll give you an idea of what's coming up. With that said, thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Take care, guys.